Sir Larry Colmus has the call.
They're off in the Qatar Golden Mile. Optimizing broke well. Detroit City is sent up and after the early lead, and then Astronomer on the inside, followed by 34 Coupe, and then behind them comes No Balls. Then it's Degree of Risk on the inside, followed by Birth of Cool, who is third last early ahead of Boise and Ready to Perform. The early trailer as Detroit City takes them along on the lead. Opening up a 2-length advantage on Astronomer and 34 Coupe, heads apart second and third. Break of another 2 back to Optimizing in fourth. The opening quarter mile was a quick one, 22.53 seconds. Degree of Risk is fifth on the inside with 5 lengths to make up, traveling smoothly right alongside of No Balls up the backstretch. Another 2 lengths back to Birth of Cool. Then comes Boise and Ready to Perform at the back of the pack. The first half mile, 46.89 seconds. They race for the far turn. Detroit City is the leader. On top by 3/4 of a length now to 34 Coupe in second. Astronomer third on the inside. Going between horses, Optimizing. Birth of Cool is out there 3 wide and moving up. And right behind the leaders, Degree of Risk needs a way through, has plenty of run, and Degree of Risk is going to come 3 wide for the stretch drive. They're into the stretch. Detroit City on the outside, Optimizing. Degree of Risk coming up on the air outside. Astronomer coming up the fence. It is still Optimizing, Astronomer, and Degree of Risk. These 3 coming down to the wire. Boise getting involved late too. It's going to be Astronomer. Astronomer did it. A photo right behind Optimizing, Boise, and Degree of Risk.
What a battle down the lane. Any one of 4 horses looked like they could have been a winner at the top of the stretch. Astronomer, Scott, battles back after being passed.
And this horse went off at 30-1. And Ryan Moore, one of the greatest in the history of racing, the best rider in Europe, putting on a dazzling ride and taking advantage of post position number 1. He allowed the horses to go out in front of him early on. He holds that position. Michelle, what's the quickest way around an oval?
As close to the rail as you can be, right down on the inside. And you'll see it right there. That hole opened up where the 5 horse came off the fence. Ryan Moore was patient, waited for it, and took that advantage. And right here is where this horse really showed its heart, because the 4 Optimizing was going to go by and Ryan Moore really going hands and heels on him to get him back in front. I know this is a special win for Simon Callahan because he trained the mom Caraba as well as some of the siblings for Astronomer. They had to take him up to Golden Gate Fields with a B-track circuit to get him to break his maiden, but it looks like he got that confidence boost underway, and right here he looks like a champ.
Scott, he's a big horse, and that was not a very big spot to go through. This horse not only is talented, he is brave.
Showing some guts, there's no question about it. And we talked about crossover in these races, which so often you get on these big days, or in racing in general, looking at horses that you can look towards later on. In debut here at Del Mar on the 31st of July, he ran in a maiden race, a race which made up of horses that have never won a race. He was beaten by McKinnon. McKinnon will be running in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf later on today, but you talked about his size. You can see it on full display right there. And let's face it, when you see Ryan Moore riding a grass race in those silks, the Tabor silks, isn't it worth just a small gamble at the very least?
He was the biggest price on the board. He was 30-1. He was the longest shot in this field and came away with the win.
He has really great siblings. He is a half to 2 different graded stakes winners. A lot of family members doing very well on the grass. So it was kind of a question of time with him. He is a little bit bigger colt, and so I think it was really just a growing thing. He needed to figure out how to use his body, and once he got that victory under his belt and he actually started to understand his job, I think we're going to see a lot more performances like this of him. I was wrong saying that going to Golden Gate class is going to be a question. Obviously, he is more than classy enough. I apologize, Simon.
And Scott, sometimes you talk about, athletes and kids as they're growing up. Remember, this is just a 2-year-old. He is a young horse. If you think of kids that are playing sports, you might have that big gangly player that's just sort of gaining control in the athleticism of their body. That's what's happening with this horse. He's figuring out how to use all the tools that he was born with.
It's like a young kid in elementary school when you realize, hey, I'm bigger than you. So if we're going to go play one-on-one basketball or some pickup basketball in recess, I can dominate you.
I'm going to crush it.
Yeah, so that's, I think, what we just saw from Astronomer. And you'll see these horses pick up confidence, pick up momentum. You know, it's a psychological game so often for us in handicapping, but I think too for horses as well. They feel the confidence. He's going to feel the praise coming back, the cheer of the crowd, the pets that he's going to get, the picture that's going to be taken. They feed off of this like any athlete does.
Also, this was a tale of multiple trips, right, Christina? This horse got the shortest way around, all the way up the inside, thanks to the patient ride. Horses like the 3, Degree of Risk, and the 9, Boise, had to go wide, and at one point, the 3 really needed a spot to run, and that spot just was not there because the horse in front of him had come out, so you can't run over the top of horses. Because of that, he had to angle out even further, causing a loss of ground. So because of that, and you look how close the margin of victory was, it easily could have been flip-flopped with 2 different trips.
If you're watching us on social media and you're not convinced now to join in and download the FanDuel Racing app, come on, 62.60 for Astronomer, and you've got that app promotion to take advantage of, 20-1 on your first Del Mar wager once you sign up for the FanDuel Racing app. There it is. It's for today and tomorrow, but get involved today. Build that bankroll for the rest of the day with all of these championship races still to come and a giant Saturday ahead. So make sure you download that FanDuel Racing app right now.
Christina, it's also great to see riders like we talked about, Frankie Dettori, getting on the turf course and getting a feel. You have Ryan Moore right here getting a feel. These are guys that don't ride this turf course often or maybe haven't at all. And it's really invaluable to be able to get out there and have a know-how firsthand of what the course feels like right now before you go out for one of the big dances.
And look, if we didn't convince you in race number 2, we've already started the countdown clock for race number 3. You've got about 20 minutes.